just gonna fix my
Ebola!
Ebola. Sorry, listeners, viewers, we apologize, but that was actually the topic of conversation right before we hit on air. Hi, welcome to May Dames. I'm Muffy.
And I'm Sparkles. It's interesting when you start the show.
Yeah, let's start the show. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So this is all about being stupid.
There was so much and we can't even cover all the stupids in an hour. It's just not humanly possible.
We can't. We were actually going over what stories we were going to do, and we're like, oh, this will only take a few minutes, and this will only take a few minutes, but happy viewers, if you know us at all. You know that that's just a bunch of baloney, and we're just going to do the best we can. But we have like 6 topics on deck, ready to go. How many are we going to get through?
If we get all 6, we should give ourselves a prize or something.
We should.
Exactly. I don't know what the prize will be.
Let's not waste time thinking about the prize. Let's get into these lovely, stupidity-strewn news stories.
Let's start with Ben Affleck. Why? Because he's a D-bag who ruined Daredevil and is going to be ruining Batman in a theater near you. That being said, this is what I have to say on the topic, because by now everybody should know what he said on Bill Maher's show. This is my feelings on it. Islam, or Muslim, whatever you want to call it, Muslims, it is not a race. It is a religion, if you want to even call it that. Some of it call it more of a theocracy type of, politics. But it is not a race. A race is Caucasian or Asian or whatever. It is what helps something that's in your DNA. That's not religion. Okay, now that we got that out, that it is not a race, it's also not racist if you don't like them, because racism, as defined by Webster's dictionary, is believing that one race is superior to all other races. And as far as I know, the people that practices extreme Islam would be the racist ones, because they believe they are superior to everybody who is an infidel. Okay. Now that I got that off my chest, I'm sick of hearing that. Also, Islamophobia is not real. I'm getting sick of it. A phobia, if you ever study psychology, is a severe fear of something. I do not fear Islamic people. I just don't like people who want to see me murdered because A, I'm a woman, and B, I'm a Christian, and probably C, I'm an American or whatever else. If you want to see me dead because I don't see your worldview, guess what? I'm not going to like you. That does not mean I fear you. Get your terminology right. I'm sick of this stupid PC crap. Okay, end rant.
It's fine. That's essentially what I would say too. The only thing that I would add is that it actually kills my soul a little bit to agree with Bill Maher. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But here's the thing. I kind of see where he comes from on things, but there's also times I wonder if he's playing devil's advocate just for,
No.
You know what I mean?
No. Okay, so a relative of mine, I won't disclose exactly whom, used to be a limo driver, and one of his customers was Bill Maher. He is exactly like you think he would be. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I just... What astonished me in that was watching the video, and here's Bill Maher having a very intelligent discussion to one side, and I love that the camera just kind of over to Ben Affleck, and he's going, eyes rolling, and like he wanted to leap across the desk and strangle somebody. And I'm trying to figure out how that's not hatred or intolerance of somebody's other point of view because that person isn't tolerant of somebody who's not tolerant of them.
Right. And from what I remember, the guy that Bill Maher was talking to before Ben Affleck started spewing his liberal junk was a guy who writes books about and actually has studied the Quran and, you know, Muslim culture and all that stuff and Sharia law and all that junk.
Mm-hmm.
Where Ben is going on feelings. Because feelings are what run the world. And we all could just get along if we all just shared our feelings and made cake out of rainbows and clouds and whatever and unicorn and farts and whatever.
I'm going to start singing Barbra Streisand in a minute if you're not careful. Because, yes, the argument was the difference between logic and understanding exactly where people are coming from. And from the radical Islamists. And he actually also clarified that it's not even just the radical Islamists, it's that next ring outside of it, which are the, I guess, hardcore Islamists that don't say, yeah, we don't subscribe to what those in the middle are doing. We're just, they do their own thing, and we're over here being like, la la, we love Allah. So that was an interesting discussion. This guy is an expert. It's what we call being educated and understanding a topic before opening your mouth and spewing stupid things like Ben Affleck did. He's never been a big person on my list. I will say that I do enjoy him in the Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
Right.
And that's probably where he should stay. Is in the
Yes.
movies.
Well, in certain movies. He will never, ever be a good action hero. I'm just going to put that out there now. Send your hate mail to @BeautiflyWings. I don't care. Send it to me. He's not.
He's not a... his good friend...
Matt
Jason
Damon?
Bourne. That's him.
Yeah.
Matt Damon is an action hero, but only because he played Jason Bourne, which
Yes.
was such an interesting character and needed an actor who could also do stunts and stuff. Evidently, Matt Damon has that capability. Ben Affleck did not get that out of the friendship. So he should just stop. And he should do movies like the Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah.
Dogma was quite good. Yeah. I mean, Daredevil was okay, but he's not it wasn't...
No, but as long as we're talking about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, I believe they were around the Harvard area growing up in the college years.
Good Will Hunting. Sorry.
That's all right. I've yet to watch the film. I'm sorry.
It's so good. It really is good. It's one of the best films.
The only reason I would watch is because of Robin Williams. That's the only reason.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as we're gonna go on this tangent. Oh, now I forgot who did this. But some.
Oh, here I have it. Hold on.
Okay.
I've got it. Campus reform.
That's it.
They've done
Right up to Harvard.
Yeah, they went to Harvard, and they've done the lovely videos of, I believe they did the redistributing grades to get people to understand about redistribution of wealth, and nobody wanted to redistribute their grades. It was weird.
I don't understand why.
I don't know. They all kept saying that I earned that.
Maybe I feel like going to a Kager every night of the week, and I don't have time to study. I need your A so I can pass that class.
Yeah, and then you can both get C's. C's get degrees. So, you know.
Right. It's only fair. I'm paying the money too. I should get a grade.
Doesn't matter, right? It's not like you earned it or anything.
It's okay. I'm majoring in underwater basket weaving.
Sweet. So, let me know how that goes.
Well, I'm minoring in gender studies.
So they go to Harvard, which is this bastion of intelligence. At least we like to think so. My mom really wanted me to go to Harvard. I visited the campus. It was beautiful. It's Boston. Who wouldn't love it? But anyway, so campus reform goes to Harvard, and you would think that you would be surrounded by intellectuals. And that is exactly what you're surrounded with. Not smart people, intellectuals. And they asked the question, now I want to get it right, because I totally... Here's the question. What's the bigger crisis and biggest threat to world peace? And I kid you not, these Harvard students said the United States, yes, the country that is so free and so amazing that people illegally jump our border to better their lives to be here, is a bigger threat to the world and world peace than a terrorist organization. Let's just, I'm going to let y'all digest that for a minute.
Yeah, let that just marinate in your brain juices for a second.
Yeah. I don't, I was so dumbfounded when I saw this and read about it. I still don't know what to say. If that is what an Ivy League education will get me, thank you, I will pass.
Oh my goodness. If I had to choose between an Ivy League education, which will cost me at least $100,000, if not more, for 4 years.
Yeah.
Or I can go to a trade school and learn how to be a carpenter, a plumber, a welder, or whatever, and only spend what, $20,000 to $50,000, and then like what, 2 years plus my journeyman.
Yeah.
I'd be making $50,000 to $75,000 when I get out. I'm choosing the trade school. If I could go back in time, I would do that.
You know what? I bet you like Mike Rowe.
Oh my goodness. If you saw the picture that I have of him on my phone right now, oh my goodness. I adore that guy. Number one, his voice. Oh,
bueno.
I want him to read me Green Eggs and Ham and record it so I can listen to it every night. But I love Dirty Jobs. I don't know about the new show that he's going to have on CNN if I'll like it as much. But the fact that he was willing to get his hands dirty to learn about the people that really make America work and kind of glorify them in a way. Mm-hmm. I love him because that's what America was founded on. It wasn't founded on everybody going to college. I saw a saying, I think last week, and I'm going to make it into a t-shirt maybe. It says, in a world where everybody's a surgeon, the plumber is king. And it makes so much sense. I know. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because when you are a surgeon, your mind is full of okay, if you're a brain surgeon, like a neurosurgeon, you have so many things you have to remember. And thank God they can. Don't get me wrong. But if anything breaks at their house, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to know how to fix it, and they're going to have to call somebody to repair it. I would like to be that person because knowing that how much money they make, I know how much money I can charge per hour. So yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
I'm all about trade schools. I actually went to school to be a not a flight attendant, a travel agent. I applied to be a flight attendant. My brain is scrambled. Sorry, viewers. But I did. I went to travel school with the point of becoming a travel agent because I love to travel. I've been to many places. I love to put together people's vacations. That's like a hobby. I love it. So I figured I might as well get paid for it. Schooling cost me, I would say, about $10,000 when all was said and done. I went for 2 years. I got straight A's. I passed all my tests with flying colors. I got special certifications so that I could do certain trips that other travel agents wouldn't be able to do. And then Expedia, Orbitz, and Travelocity happened. Here's a little story about travel agents. The way that they make money is by doing plane tickets. Yeah. So, never did become a travel agent. But I don't feel that it was money not well spent. It was actually very well spent. I learned a marketable skill that has helped me be able to book things cheaper for my own family and for my friends. I've been able to give them tips and whatnot. Not a lot has changed in the industry as far as how flights go and everything. So I have some insider knowledge that helps me now in my personal life. Has it saved me $10,000? Probably not, but, you know, still nice to have. But these Harvard people, and on top of all of that, I went and did that, and I can still recognize that ISIS is a bigger threat to world peace than the United States.
Well, just because ISIS wants to cut off your head, how is that worse for the world than America wanting to help you have democracy in your homeland? And maybe teach you about capitalism so you don't have to live in slavery or you have to go a couple days without food. How is beheading people because they're upset about something or other worse? I don't get it.
Okay, I guess the argument was that we have engaged in so many wars and killed so many people that we're actually worse than ISIS is. But I would counter that with what were the reasons that we went into these wars and who were the people that we were actually fighting against and killing versus what ISIS is doing. They're just randomly grabbing people off the street and beheading them. There's no form or semblance to it.
No, mainly guys. They don't behead a lot of women because the women and the girls they sell into sex slavery.
Right. Well, we're
way more profitable. Yeah.
We are worth money.
Right. We're not worth being able to have any kind of freedoms. We're worth money.
No.
So.
No. Honey, no. We can't have that.
No.
No.
A woman over there speaking her mind?
What?
I know.
Crazy talk. But,
very crazy.
But see, now this Harvard mentality is not. I'm saying that wrong. This Harvard mentality is actually bolstered when our president goes on national television and speaks in front of the UN and dares to say that ISIS is neither Islamic nor a state. I would ask him to tell me what ISIS stands for, like the letters, because I'm pretty sure it stands for Islamic State in Syria. Yes?
No, you got
Oh,
one of the letters wrong. It's the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria.
Iraq and
But he
Syria.
doesn't call it ISIS. He calls it ISIL,
Yes, he
which is
does.
Iraq and Levant, which is basically from from the Gulf. My geography is off. It's Friday, people. Across, so it includes Israel.
Okay.
So they don't count Israel as a country.
Well, no. Why would they?
All right. So I know a couple people have just shortened it to say we're just calling it ICE, or is, just the Islamic State, and I'm like, cheaters. Um,
But But it's still the Islamic State, which apparently, according to Obama, is neither Islamic nor a state. Now, I will say that he has some merit in saying that it's not a state, because technically they are not. They don't own land, like they're not part of a particular country. They're not, so I get that. I understand. They don't have a government per se behind them. So in that respect, it's not a state. But they are definitely Islamic.
oh yeah, definitely.
Radical, but
Very
Islamic.
right.
So, and you know what? Here's the funny part. Didn't Obama used to teach or go to Harvard? He had something with the review board or something there, didn't he? He had
Yeah,
something to do with Harvard. The law review. He edited it. Edited it. I can't talk. I've had wine and it's Friday. And I have a new puppy, people, who kept me up all last night, and yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
sure. Blame the puppy.
I am. She's adorbs, but, oh my word. Right to the
Yeah.
moon. Anyway, um, so
Speaking of
that's
school,
interesting.
yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of schools,
Yeah.
when you went to travel school, college, or whatever institute, did your teacher ever call your class Purple Penguins?
No. No, she referred to us as ladies because it was all women in the class.
Wait, you might have looked like ladies, but that doesn't necessarily that's what you feel like inside. Because remember, we're all about feelings now. And what if one day I don't feel like a girl and I feel like a gender or I feel like a boy? That's just wrong of her to assume that I'm a lady, to calm down, because that might actually hurt my feelings, considering if I had any.
Yes. And I have strong feelings about this, which unfortunately a lot of them I'm going to keep to myself for a lot of reasons. And when we're off the air, I'll tell you all about one of the biggest ones. But
Right. I understand. The reason I'm bringing this up, just in case anybody out there doesn't know,
oh yes, the purple penguins.
a school in Nebraska has now presented the genderbread man, and how talking to elementary students from ages 5 to 10, how we have to use gender neutral everything with them. Okay, like literally right now, I have a pain going from this side to this side.
Yeah, the ice is just on my head right now.
One of the things that was said about it is, well, we don't want girls to think that they only are allowed to play on a swing set or jump rope, and the boys can only play football or do this. Okay, so in case you haven't figured out, the ballpark of my age. I went to elementary school back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Guess what? I played foursquare with the boys. I played football with the boys. I played basketball with the boys. Every once in a while, I might jump rope with the girls, and I might have played on the swing sets.
Yeah.
Guess what? No one ever said I couldn't because I was a girl. And when they tried to tell me I couldn't because I was a girl, that's when they found out that I had two older brothers that taught me how to throw the balls.
Yes.
If I needed to throw a football, I knew how to throw it. And it usually hurt them because they weren't able to catch it because it was that good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm getting, it's one of those PC things I'm getting sick of because I'm supposed to be able to, like, fight breast cancer like a girl and have, this feminism thing that, we're all created equal except for when it comes to gender pronouns in elementary school.
Right.
Stop. You are the only people putting labels on this. Because guess what? Kids are going to be attracted to what they're going to be attracted to. My parents never forced me either way, and if you met my parents, they are a very traditional set.
Mm.
I am named after both of my grandmothers. My oldest brother is named after both my grandfathers. My brother in the middle is named after uncles. My parents didn't just pick names out of a hat. They kept family names in the family. My mom wore dresses every Sunday to church. She made sure, she did traditional roles in the house.
See, and I grew up a little bit opposite of that. I had a mother, she's still with us, but growing up, my sister, when she was 4 or 5, announced to my mom that she was going to be a nurse. And my mom said, well, why not be a doctor? Because, feminism, we're all equal. And my sister was very insistent that no, she was going to be a nurse. And that she could not be a doctor. She was trying to explain to my mother that she could not be a doctor. And my mom was just exasperated, just couldn't understand. And finally, she figured it out. My sister at that time, because, 4, you're just like totally with everything that's going on in the world, equated nurses and doctors. And nurses and doctors did the same job. It's just nurses were women and doctors were men. But they did the same job in her world. So when my mom was badgering her, she needed to be a doctor. My poor sister was thinking, that's not physically possible. I'm a girl.
No, but it's cute. And that's the thing. You got adults trying to put adult mindsets on children. And you can't do that. It's not fair to the child. Though this has been brought up a few times, I do not have children of my own. I worked in a daycare for 10 years, and I've raised my niece and nephew for a number of years. So I have a rough idea of child development. What I really understand about kids, what I actually pushed for with my niece and nephew, is I wanted their imaginations to be there. I would make them shut off the TV and go outside and play, or do anything, if it was even just coloring. Something to get their imaginations going so they would have an idea of how things worked in the world. I wanted them to read. I wanted them to ask questions, It's the one time in their life that they're the most innocent. Let them have some innocence. Let them be able to stretch their imaginations wide before we start putting them in these stupid little boxes, because it helps the adults feel better, because the feelings.
It's all about the feelings. But the thing is, when you tell kids to do everything gender neutral, you're not shoving them in tiny boxes. You're putting them in one giant box and they're all the same. And I don't understand that. Like, don't you want to celebrate their uniqueness as humans? I'm not even talking about gender
Right.
at that point. I'm talking about just being different for the sake of being different. Like you. I was the same way. My next door neighbors were two football stars in on my high school football team. Like, big time football players. I was the only girl that got to play football with them because I happened to be out there one day and the ball went all the wrong way and landed right in front of me, and I picked it up and I threw a perfect spiral and hit the quarterback in the numbers. And then they're like, okay, she can throw a ball. So then they kept putting me in the quarterback position because, you know, I could throw a ball. I'm like, guys. So finally, they tackled me, thinking, oh, she's going to cry, she's going to break a nail. And I gave back as good as I got. And so I was the only girl that was allowed to play football with the boys in the neighborhood because I didn't cry. And I enjoyed it. I loved it. I was rough and tumble when I was growing up. Now I have pretty nails now, and I like to wear makeup, and my hair is pretty, and give me a fabulous pair of shoes and a gorgeous dress, and I'm like, ah! But I can still go out. If I broke a nail playing football, oh well, I'll go get it fixed. I don't care.
Right?
So don't tell me I'm a purple penguin.
No,
I enjoy being a girl who occasionally likes to play sports.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I don't understand why automatically if you like sports or you like cars, you're more like a dude, and if you're a guy and you like musicals or like doing fashion design, you're automatically girl-like or feminine. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that kind of upsets me. It's like, who's putting that label on them? Because
in my marriage, I'm the one that watches football. I'm the one that is yelling at the TV. Now, my husband will watch a game with me, but he's not like laser focused on it like I am. He'll get up, he'll be reading something on his phone, he'll be, you know, whatever. He's not totally zeroed in, whereas me, my team is on the TV. Don't even. Like, I'm not, it's me and the TV. Nothing else exists.
does your husband make you sandwiches when you're watching the football games?
No, but he makes me this cheese dip that has spicy sausage in it, and it's super yummy good. Sorry.
No, that's good. I mean, I was just wanted to point out, while you're watching football, your husband, who is a fairly masculine dude,
Yeah.
cooks for you. He makes something for you to eat while you watch football, which typically in pop culture, television, and movies, the roles are reversed. So if we're going to blame this on somebody, we should really blame pop culture and the media.
Yeah.
Darn them.
I must be a dude, because I want a Challenger, like the car, like muscle car Challenger. I want one, and every time I see one, like, my head, like, spins off my body because trying to look at it. Freaking love this car so much it hurts my heart. And then one of our elders at church just bought one. I told him if it comes up missing that he should probably just check my garage first. Save time. Because it's part of the Red Line series. Yeah. Yeah. It has a moonroof, and it's white with a red racing stripe down the middle of it, one, which I love, because the two just, I don't like two racing, but the one is kind of nice. The interior, though, it is all red leather interior. Girl. I really like the color red.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Whoa. Mind blown.
I know, my room is like all red and everything. In fact, the one far wall is all red. It's crazy. So, yeah, I told him that if his car goes missing some night, that he should probably just come find me because I'm probably tooling around the city with it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the one that wants the car. I'm the one that watches football. I'm the one that uses... Well, no, actually, I think my husband uses more obscenities than I do. But that's his job.
Right. But you do look better in a corset, though.
I do. I do. Yeah.
I mean, so there's that. I mean...
Like I said, throw me a good pair of shoes and a really cute dress, and I'll do my hair and makeup. I'm all about glamming up and going out, but if it's a choice between glamming up and going out and missing my football game, y'all are gonna need to wait till my football game is over.
So
And then I'll get
basically,
dressed.
I don't see you until like January, February on Sundays is what I'm hearing.
Pretty much. Yeah. Because my boys, I love my boys. They're awesome. And they're doing really well this year. Anyway, sorry.
I'll go with you on that because I live in Michigan.
Yeah, I
our
know you
team
beat my team. I'm not happy with your team. I'm more unhappy with my team for losing that game because we should have won, but whatever. It's okay because we beat the Bears and we beat the Vikings. And I believe the Bears we beat at their stadium. Next time they have to come play at our stadium.
I wonder how that's going to work out.
We'll win because we're awesome.
So, you know more about this next topic than I do. I just read what Twitchy said about it. Apparently, Gwyneth Paltrow opened her mouth again, and the Stupids just came out. Which
Well, you know, I mean,
for
after her conscious uncoupling, during the seaside ceremony where they threw rocks into the sea, oh, I can't even. So Salvo, or is it Salvo? Yeah. So he's a street artist. He did the Ted Cruz street poster. I don't know if you've seen that. Okay, so he did that, and he's done a lot of other street art that has been, well, it's been something. He's an interesting character. I actually follow him on Facebook, and there's sometimes where he spouts off on stuff where I'm like, dude, just keep that to yourself, because some of us will buy your artwork, but not if you keep saying stuff like that. But anyway, so other artists have taken up his cause, and occasionally there's stuff that's put out there that looks like his work but isn't his work, and it's just been inspired by him. And I don't remember. I think this is his, though. Gwyneth Paltrow. Super smart chick. Totally, like, kaja goo over Obama. Hosted a $32,000 a plate fundraiser, obviously not for Obama because he's not campaigning anymore. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. But he was there, evidently, because there's nothing else going on in the world. You have to show up for a $32,000 a plate fundraiser. Right. So these posters popped up in the LA area with a picture of Gwyneth Paltrow on a blue background that said, this was just so beautiful, Obama drone. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So she was like, oh, well, about it, but that isn't even what struck me about this whole thing. What really struck me was when she decided to talk about this fundraiser and how amazing Obama is. And the girl, I'm not going to say it correctly, I'm going to paraphrase this because I don't have the actual quote in front of me, but it was something akin to, I don't understand why we can't just give him all the power he needs to affect the changes that he wants to make. So my question to Ms. Paltrow, and it is Miss Paltrow again, is this. Let's say we give Obama that power. Let's just say that. Okay? We give him, what would that be? We make him king. Okay? So he has full control over everything. How do you dial that back on the next king/president that comes into power that you don't like? Because we're not just going to give that power to Obama, we give it to the office of the president. So now there's going to, let's say Ted Cruz gets nominated president next time around. I don't know if that'll happen, but I'm just putting that out there as an example since he's like the conservative poster boy right now. Literally. How do you scale that back, Gwyneth? Or is it just for the presidents you like, that you think are going to be super awesome cool? Because, I mean, I can understand because you went through a conscious uncoupling. That is what she called it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway. I got nothing because the stupid, it burns. Like, it burned my brain out of my head. It just... Oh, Gwyneth.
If anybody that's watching this gets a chance, please go through the Twitchy story on it. Because there was some fake Gwyneth Paltrow quotes in there. And it was really hard to differentiate between the fake ones and the real ones.
Mm-hmm.
She said some... Wow.
This is the woman that named her daughter Apple. So...
And her website, Goop. Can we just bring that up? She named her website Goop. And I think it was supposed to be for, like, every woman or something like that, and eating tips and all that stuff. But one of the things that she sells on there for, like, she finds what she considers deals on things and puts it up on her website. One of her deals, a pair of shoes, close to $1,000. I don't know about you. I don't have $1,000 to spend on a pair of shoes.
Nope.
The most I've ever paid for a pair of footwear was about $100, and those were for some steel-toe work boots.
Mm-hmm.
And those were for work.
Mm-hmm.
Not for play, not for leisure, not for, wearing out on the weekends.
Nope.
But for work, so I could keep my toes, so I could wear my high heels on the weekends.
Details.
All right. But there's that disconnect that happens, as we talked about with the Harvard story. There's like that huge disconnect of reality and their little tiny circle.
Little fantasy world going on over there.
Oh my
Mommy and Daddy are paying for my education, so I don't have to worry about anything anymore.
Right. And one more thing. I just want to add this in for like the whole Harvard thing.
Yes.
Because a lot of them will sit there and say that capitalism sucks. I would like you to say that without 2 Starbucks coffees in your hand and an iPhone in your back pocket. Please.
And without going to Harvard on mommy and daddy's dime, who probably started their own business or at least...
Or worse, on Wall Street.
Yeah, Wall Street, yeah. But they generated income because of capitalism. Let's just be real about that. Yeah, and Gwyneth, oh Gwyneth, you need to stop opening your mouth, sweetheart. You're cute. You have played some really interesting characters. You're not a bad actress. But when you compare being on set for a couple of months at a time to a working mother, and you have a nanny and a stylist and a makeup artist and a manager.
Probably a cook.
Yeah, probably a chef in there somewhere. Somebody who drives you around. You cannot, no, sweetie, no. You live in a completely different world. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I am all those things. I am my own stylist. I am my own cook. I am my own chauffeur. I don't have a manager, and I don't have an agent. And I do have to take care of children. So there's no nanny. So I would be beneficial. You know what? She should do a life swap. You know they did wife swap? She should do a life swap.
Oh,
I'll swap with her.
Could you imagine her? Yours would be interesting, but could you imagine her having to swap lives with single mothers who have at least 2 jobs and they're single moms? So there is no guy in the picture. They're a waitress at one job, and we'll say they work in an office during the day and they're a waitress at night. They might get 4 hours of sleep. Yeah. I would love to see her do that. I challenge you, whatever your name may be, a little skinny blonde person, to actually go through that. Go through that for a week. It's only a week, not the months you have to spend on set because, oh, the horrors.
And let's talk about being on set too, because oftentimes when you're on set, you're actually in some pretty kick-ass places, and you're not on set all the time. Even when you're the star of the film, you're not on set all the time.
No, cameraman and the director are there more than you are.
Heck yeah, the continuity editor is probably there more than anybody else, but I'm just... I have done some filming on Hollywood films, okay? Not a lot, a little bit. It is long hours, I will say. The one time that I was really part of a set, I was there for 18 hours. It netted 2.5 minutes screen time total. Okay? So, yes, it can be very taxing. However, I would just like to point out that there is a movie coming out, Exodus, Kings and Gods. First of all, go see this movie because it looks amazing. Second of all, they shot it in 73 days. 73. Okay? So that's 2.5 months. Okay? They used real people. There's no CGI people. They shot it like Ben-Hur, like old Ben-Hur, 10 Commandments. That's how they shot it. 73 days. Okay? So, big movies can be done in a very short amount of time. Some movies take longer. But really, 73 days to do this big epic movie, That's just not a big sacrifice to me. I don't know. 73 days goes by like that for me because I'm running all over Kingdom Come trying to get my kids in the classes they need to be in. So,
right? And when you think about 73 days out of the year, because if you do a good enough job, you may not have to actually work for the rest of the year. So you have, what, 280 some days of the year to
you
do
have
nothing.
9.5 months. 9.5 months. You can grow a baby. Okay?
That's a good way to put it. Yes, you can. You can grow a baby during
You
that
can
time.
have an entire pregnancy and only work for the fraction of the year that you're not pregnant. That's amazing. And you get a salary that is ridiculous. Millions of dollars.
Where do I sign up for this gig? Because
Well,
I
you have to
work
be
5 days a week and it's killing me.
no, you have to be vacuously stupid, evidently. And you have to be new agey, and you have to name your children weird things.
Okay.
And then apparently you have to be willing to give up any semblance of logic.
Oh, sorry, deal breaker.
I know.
Logic makes me sane.
Or you could be James Woods.
I love James Woods. Oh my goodness. There's a few people in Hollywood I really like, and he's one. But we got to get this one last story in because we only got about 10 minutes left.
Oh,
And it's
I can do this.
Got to do the Comcast. And you're going to have to do the majority of the talking on this one because you've read the whole story as I skimmed it.
Yes. So this is kind of an under-the-radar story that I think is going to have some pretty long legs because it's a very interesting case. So Comcast, whom I think everybody equally hates, had a customer. His name is Connell. He worked, yes, past tense, for Price Waterhouse, which is an accounting firm. They cover the Academy Awards. Okay, they keep all the ballots for the Academy Awards. It's very exciting. Anyway, they have other areas, but whatever. Anywho, so he had Comcast at his house, and he was dissatisfied with the service. There was overbilling that was going on. The customer service, when he did call, was less than okay. He just was having some issues. So he's like, okay, I'm going to call, I'm going to cancel. So he called, and they assured him that billing problems would stop and that they would do this and, you know, move the heavens and earth for him to keep him as a customer. And he's like, all right, you know what? If you're willing to do all of that, then fine. So he didn't quit at that particular time. So instead what happened was, not only did they not fix the billing problems, but they ended up sending him like receivers and a modem and a couple other things that totaled a little over $1,800 and billed him for it. Now, he's an accountant. So what he did was he made a spreadsheet because that's what accountants do. And he detailed all of the charges, all of the credits, and all of the billings that in the like few months that he had. I don't even think he had them for a full year. So he called them back and he said, no, I don't need any of this stuff. I need to send it back to you, and you need to go ahead and strike that $1,800 off my bill. To which they profusely said, oh, whoops, our bad. And then he tried to quit Comcast. And they kept, like, I guess, scheduling a technician to come out. Why? I don't know. Because when you cancel something, you should just send all the equipment back in and then it's done. I had to do this with DirecTV recently, and, well, not recently, like a year ago. Anyway, it really just shouldn't be a hassle to cancel. And he wasn't getting satisfaction. Nobody was calling him back. Nobody was taking care of anything. So he went above the customer service side of things, and he decided to call their controller's office, which is like the epitome for billing. Like, that is the place to go for their accounting. And he was assured that he would get a call back. Now, one thing that's important is earlier on, somewhere in a conversation with some of the customer service reps, I don't know if it was at the controller's office or something else, he mentioned that he worked for Price Waterhouse. Now, Price Waterhouse did have some sort of partnership with Comcast, but it didn't have anything to do with him getting preferential treatment or anything like that. He happened to mention that, probably, I would say, because he talked about the spreadsheet that he had kept, and so he talked about the nature of his job, which is as an accountant, and then he mentioned Price Waterhouse. Anyway, Comcast decided to call Price Waterhouse and basically tattletale on Connell, and he got fired from Price Waterhouse because of his confrontations with Comcast. I'm going to say that again. No. Let me say that again. Comcast screwed up. He tried to cancel with them. They called his employer. He got fired. So, as the author of the article that I read pointed out, how many times do people call up saying, I'm a lawyer, or I'm a such and such big shot at this company, and blah, blah, blah? And how does that work to get those people preferential treatment? Also, how many times does that happen and the customer service rep decides to call the company that they work for and tattletale on them? Okay. I worked customer service. I got those calls all the time. So, I'm confused. But this guy's fighting it. He has a lawyer.
Okay,
So,
I just have to put this out there. Does anybody know what an aneurysm feels like? Because I honestly think I'm starting to have one right now. Because that's how bad and stupid it is.
Yeah.
I will say only once in my conversation with customer service, I brought up, I said, I'm a blogger. And the only reason I brought that up is because it was with my internet provider. And I'm like, I need the internet because I am a blogger.
It's sort of integral to what we do.
You know, as soon as I said, I'm a blogger, the whole tone changed. Even though they don't know where I am on the totem pole of blogging.
Right.
That scared them. But hardly ever do I use what I do in life, what I know in life, you know, as a thing for customer service.
Right.
But for Comcast to do this shows me how, number one, how vindictive they are, and their childish mentality that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Going, well, I'm just gonna, since you don't like me, I'm gonna go tell my mommy on you, or gonna go tell your mommy on you and get you grounded.
Mm-hmm.
What company thinks like that? I already don't like Comcast because of their feelings towards the farming community. Because I live in a very farming community, farming-centric type, place.
Yeah.
There's farms everywhere. You can't spit without hitting one. They refuse to have channels on their, in their service that has to do with rural farm life because, no, we're urban, and and it's like, but wait, there's only like 2 channels, really, they have to do with it, And it's a way that I don't know, I can't remember at this time how they worded it, but it was such a slap in the face to people who get up at 4 o'clock in the morning
Mhm.
to milk the cows so you can have cream in your coffee when you go to Starbucks, unless you're one of those people that have to get soy or almond milk. Who make sure that the chickens get fed so you can have your omelets and your artisan breads. Even your gluten-free breads still have eggs in them. They're
Mhm.
the ones that make sure you have the soy because they grow soy beans. They're the ones that wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do this. They
Mhm.
might come back home about 5 or 6 o'clock at night. It's not an easy job. And for them to slam them because they don't live in a city and they don't drive Priuses and stuff. You know what? Screw you. I don't like you. I will not give you any of my money. If it's a choice between having Comcast and going without, I'm going without because you know what? I got Netflix, I got Amazon Prime, I got Hulu Plus, and if all else fails, I'll just keep what I have, which is a satellite dish.
Yeah.
They'll go just about anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty. It's a sad state of affairs, and I worked customer service for so many years, and I heard so many things thrown at me. Well, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a this, I'm a that. My personal favorite was when women would tell me, but my husband is a doctor. Well, okay, congratulations for you. I'm happy that you found a doctor. Great, your husband works long hours and brings home a big paycheck. Hooray! How is that going to help me get your late fee off of your Blockbuster account? But this case is going to be really interesting because if he can prove, and it sounds like he can, if he can prove that he lost his job directly because Comcast contacted his employer over something they actually started, he may never have to work again.
Oh, heaven no. I would sue for like 50% of how much they're worth, to tell you honest, just because that's how I am. Maybe not even 50%, 49%. I would leave them with 51, but I want 49.
No, I'd want the 51% share so that I have control over them.
True. That would be nice.
I'm really mean and vindictive that way because honestly, if this guy were, and he says that at his job he only got good reviews and had good rapport with his fellow employees and his clients. So unless this employer can prove that he was embezzling or whatever or something, I'm thinking the reason he got fired is because Comcast threw a hissy fit and tattletailed.
I'm
But
boycotting them. I think we should start that hashtag because, hashtags are everything in America now. It's right
hashtag
underneath
solve the world.
feelings. How things are in America. You got your feelings on top, and then you have your hashtags right underneath it because
Right.
hashtag helps support the feelings.
Yes.
So hashtag boycott Comcast, boycott Gwyneth Paltrow, boycott Ben Affleck,
Boycott Harvard.
boycott Harvard. Not saying to boycott these, but I know for a fact ISIS killed Biggie and Tupac. Just saying.
Boycott ISIS. I
There we
don't
go.
know how to boycott ISIS, but you should do it.
Exactly. Don't buy any of their goods.
Right. Or services. Sorry. Next headline: Maid dames found dead. No.
Well, after we use up all our ammo shooting them off.
Right?
depending on how many they send over. Just saying.
Yeah.
I live in Redneckville. Try your best.
I
That's
have
all.
a couple of rifles in my closet actually right like 2 feet away from me I can grab and yeah. You're one's an M1 Garand, from World War II.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I'm a pretty damn good shot with that. Bullet is like this long.
Oh.
Mm.
Nothing like gun porn. Oh. Reminds
It's
me I gotta go to SHOT
sexy.
Show some year.
SHOT Show. I should be going to that this year. I think. Did husband take the time off for that? Now I have to find out because the SHOT Show is amazing. By the way, just so you know. Anyway, it's here in Vegas, so that's why I get to go.
All right. But we are all out of time.
And we covered all the topics.
I know. It's the maze balls. We didn't go in as depth as we could have on some of them, but we wanted to do like a really to get it off our chest because we want to enjoy our weekend.
Oh wait, although I may not be able to enjoy my weekend because we may have an Ebola outbreak here in Las Vegas. Just FYI, people. Yeah, it's awesome.
You go to Vegas.
They say he doesn't have Ebola, but that test came back awful fast. Considering CDC takes 1 to 3 days and the plane was only quarantined for like 2 hours, so you do the math on that one.
Right. And according to Caleb Powell, the test takes at least 4 hours. Just saying.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that the test takes longer than the plane was quarantined for, so just don't gamble this weekend, people, and if somebody's coughing around you, like, spray them with Purell, okay? And then spray yourself, because, yeah, that's nasty, so.
It's not sexy at all. Don't get the Ebola. It's not sexy. No. But
your
anyway,
eyes turn red, so,
Yeah. If you would like to send me any comments or just want to contact me and say hi, you can find me at Beautifly Wings on the Twitters. And if you want to find me anyplace else, Google that name or Poke Sparkles and you'll find me.
Indeed. And you can find me at the Twitter sphere under In-Depth Girlism. I am not on there that often anymore because I have 4 children, a dog, a puppy, and a cat. So welcome to my world. But if you tweet at me specifically, I will answer you back because I'm good like that. You can also find me at Elementary Politics, where I do some guest posting under Independent Girlism.
So, yeah. Till next time, peoples. Bye.
And hopefully I won't have Ebola next time. Woohoo!